All right. Hey guys, my name is John. Welcome to the next live stream. As you guys know, I do co-host. Well, it's the third one. Whatever. It doesn't matter. As you guys know, I co-host on Vox Virtualis as well as help out in the main channel and Black Trident channel, and I'm a avid video gamer.
Okay. We are live now, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
I hope so.
Okay, right on. Well, this is Lord Boaz. I am also here on this panel as well, talking lots tonight about Gamergate, the ISIS threat, things of that nature. We do have a whole little list of things to talk about tonight. Atheist commentator and I guess you could say journalist. I've fucking written enough about this kind of stuff, so yeah, I'll say journalist for Facebook.
You're a blogger.
I'm a blogger. I'm a keyboard warrior. No, I'm actually pretty good at fighting too. So there's that.
Careful, that might be perceived as a threat.
My feels.
Not a threat, unless you make me mad.
All right, take her ahead, Ro.
Yeah, so I'm Ro. I'm just starting to get into this whole social media stuff with Twitter and whatnot. Just on the panel to give my opinions. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, cool.
I can't hear him.
Yeah. Really? Ah, shit. Well, yeah, I'm just here to get my opinions on the state of affairs with Gamergate as well as the current situation in Canada. That's about
I
it.
still can't hear him.
Everyone else can hear me though, right?
No, I can't hear him.
I heard the last bit of it.
I heard him perfectly.
Yeah, I think that's because you keep cutting out there.
Oh,
We're gonna operate on the assumption that you can be heard fine on the live stream itself. So we'll just go from there. Okay. So, anyways, yes. As you guys are aware, who are listening in so far, my name is EJ Spurl. I am the brains, I guess, behind Black Trident TV. I am a published author, and I've been gaming for about 30+ years. So, welcome to our live stream. So, I'm just going to go ahead and take it off, and we'll get on to the first subject here. So, last night, our friendly neighborhood extremist Anita Sarkeesian tweeted out some pretty brutal shit, and we're just gonna talk about that a little bit. So first of all, I'm just gonna load the tweets up.
Hey, Lord, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm back now.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Yes, perfect. I knew leaving
Okay.
back to work. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah, he can be heard over the chat as well, so everything's good.
Wonderful.
Okay, all right, cool. So I'm just gonna load up the tweets here. Sorry, guys, I just had to reboot my computer, and as a result, we're running a little bit behind, having a little bit of technical difficulties on my end. The rest of these guys seem fine though, so hopefully they'll.
We're pretty
fix
awesome.
itself.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just how
Okay, so well, I'm just going to read out these tweets here. So she comes out after monopolizing on the U.S. tragedy yesterday in the school shooting in California. She decided that she was going to tweet something. God damn it, my computer is just running like a piece. I love it. Okay, so yes. She tweeted about how toxic forms of violent masculinity are the root cause of a lot of the issues in society and stuff, and like it's just taken a very one-sided approach to the whole how this stuff happens, right? Our culture is deeply sick when simply asking questions about how toxic forms of masculinity may harm men lead to hours of hate on Twitter. That's a loaded question for one.
It's a question not designed for Twitter.
My view on that entire the entire string of tweets is just she's looking for. It seems like she's looking for provocation to just add fuel to the fire, right? Like she's trying to
Exactly.
provoke a reaction from us. Like when I sent you those tweets there yesterday, you were pretty pissed. I
I
remember
was
that.
angry, but I didn't tweet her.
But you're more collective than some people.
Yep.
See, all she's doing is she's throwing out bait, and she's hoping that somebody's gonna bite onto it, and she's gonna reel that in, and she's gonna spread it all over the place, saying, "Look how extreme they are! Look how evil they are! They're misogynists! They're men! They're bad!"
Yep.
No,
So
absolutely.
apparently,
It's poking the bear and expecting the bear not to get angry about it.
Yeah, it's intentionally poking the bear, expecting the bear to get her angry about it, and then playing off that reaction.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So one of the tweets here is mass shootings are one tragic consequence of a culture that perpetuates toxic ideas of masculinity. This is how patriarchy can harm men too.
what? Hold on. Let me just work that out.
She's talking here about the school shooting, not about the shooting in Ottawa, but about the school shooting down in
Yes.
California.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying that doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes absolutely no sense. It's absolutely idiotic. Does anybody know what the guy's motive? I was looking at it.
He was being bullied, and he killed his cousins, apparently.
He killed his cousins as well.
No, that's who he shot.
Oh, he killed his cousins. That's the people
Yeah.
that he shot.
Yeah, that's as far as I got from the news.
There was another thing about a guy who killed a police officer, a couple of police officers as well. Not the guy with the hatchet, but another guy
in L.A. Or some of the one in the state. Yeah, it was two deputies shot and one person injured. I had to read up on it again. I saw it in my feed, but I was busy trying to put out a fire on Facebook that I started.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what the motive behind that person was in that particular shooting? Because she's talking about that one as well, I assume.
I think she's just referring to the school shooting.
She's just referring to the school shooting.
Yeah, as far as I know.
A lot of the school shootings, most of the time, it's usually the guy who's being bullied or something happens to them and they just had enough and they just go in and they just basically guns bloated and you're like, fuck everything, and then kill themselves.
Well, that's the case in like things like Columbine and whatnot. I don't know. It takes a lot of time and a lot of pressure and a lot of like you said, bullying in order to push somebody to the point of basically suicidal violence.
Yeah.
You can't possibly. This lady, she's saying that it's all men's fault that this is happening. You can't possibly think that the only people out in this world that are bullying other people are men. Because hello, you're trying to do the exact same kind of thing.
Oh, it's not just that. There's if you've ever seen the movie Mean Girls, okay, the whole inspiration for that movie is based on like true story level shit, you know?
Yes.
It's a lot of the time actually when it comes to bullying, it's females who are doing the major like mental bullying, where men are more physical.
Yeah.
Men tend to be more physical. They like to use fear and stuff like that. Whereas I find that when women are bullied, they tend to there's a lot of gaslighting. There's a lot of psychological effects that happen, right? There's less physical damage, but much more mental damage. And I don't know, but in my opinion, mental damage lasts a hell of a lot longer than physical damage.
I definitely would have to agree with that.
Yep.
I mean, everybody's got experience with bullying in their past, and fuck me, I don't remember any physical pain, but I remember still to this day the things that people have said.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the same thing when I was in school. It wasn't the threat of physical violence that really bothered me. It was the fact of the matter that, you know, people thought less of me.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
but you know,
it's the knife that cuts the deepest that draws the biggest reaction. So really, She might be completely ass backwards in that. Not saying that Crispin would have no effect, but of course it's a group effort in driving these people to commit these horrible these atrocious acts.
Well, yeah, like if you want to, if she wants to talk about toxic masculinity, that she needs to identify the fact that there is such thing as toxic femininity as well.
Yes.
You know, and that they play off of each other, just like men and women play off of each other, like outside of any toxicity. It's just it's one thing begets the next, begets the next, begets the next. It's a back and forth, right?
Well, it's the yin and the yang type of theory, where it's always two things that always collide with each other. You can't have one without the other.
It's a very exactly, you can't. So her saying that it is a one-sided issue, that's what pissed me off the most. Is
you're completely cut off.
So like I've met some of these fucking alpha dog types and they're assholes. You know what I mean?
Okay,
like we
lost you.
You might want to repeat what you just said because you completely cut out there, bud.
Ah shit. Okay. What I'm saying is that toxic femininity plays off of toxic masculinity. Now, toxicity is a thing because I've met the alpha dog assholes out there, and they get off on being complete assholes, right? But you also meet their counterparts, the toxic feminine, right? That just have the same kind of mentality behind it, and they keep pushing buttons for the purpose of pushing buttons, and that's what I see Anita Sarkeesian do on social media all the time, pushing buttons, right? It's
working. She's getting the reaction she wants, right?
It absolutely is working, right? And that's why I blocked her. Like I purposely blocked her on Twitter because honestly, the only way that she's going to shut up is if she becomes irrelevant.
And that's awesome. Yeah.
But I actually follow her just to stay up to date on the shit she's saying. I actually, I tweeted her a link to a psychology paper on non-male shooters, the school shooters. So yeah, there's that.
I'm curious. Tell us more about the non-male school shooters. I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, one sec. I have to pull up the article. I zipped through it and I was reading it just to make sure it was all.
Tweet it to me and I'll retweet it for anybody who's interested.
Gotcha. What's that? Laptop. Okay,
right.
I'll tweet it to you.
About 2 hours ago, she did a tweet. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. This is here. At Newsweek, analyzes the data, finds Gamergate is actually about harassing women and not ethics in gaming journalism.
Oh, are you talking about that infographic that came with it? Is that the one?
I think so.
Yeah, that's special. That's super special.
That's a pretty stupid statement. I've looked at this girl. I've never followed her. I've never even heard of her before. But I took an interest in this for the sake of this live stream to look into what some of the stuff she's said, and this has got to be the dumbest smart person I have ever heard in my entire life speak.
Well, I mean, every smart person does stupid things.
Yes, but she seems to be doing them very consistently. I have my fair share of stupid, but to be absolutely blatantly wrong on one particular issue, and then to just cling to your opinion regardless of all the information that's been brought forward to you, proving to you that your fact is wrong, that your point is wrong. She holds on to it like a religious conviction. She will not let go of her hate for men. And she tries to play it off as no, I don't hate men. They hate me, and I'm retaliating. Well, I don't think so, because I've seen some of the stuff you've said, and it seems like you really don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about.
Okay, AJ.
Nah, it's just a lot of propagandic rhetoric that's going through her. What the? Hey,
oh, maybe
AJ, can they delete tweets? Because I can't find my tweet.
They can't delete tweets, no.
No,
what the fuck is it?
They can petition to Twitter to have it removed if they want, but I think that's the only way to have it removed.
Yeah, I don't see them doing that. Otherwise I would have had a bunch of tweets deleted.
Exactly. But I mean, Twitter can
Yeah.
do that, but it's very unlikely.
Yeah.
Did you?
So the thing is, one of the things that Anita Sarkeesian says a lot, that comes from her talk at EXO Fest a few weeks back, was listen and believe, right?
Yep.
And that is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You know, let's listen and believe to fucking Osama bin Laden, eh? Like, how about that? Like, come on, it's too much. It's absolutely too much. But the thing is there's one thing that we're doing, and we are listening and reacting. And
Well-
we're reacting in such a way that she wants us to react.
I don't like the whole listen and believe thing, because it really, if you just listen to someone and you believe what they have to say without getting the facts behind it, I mean, look at what's happening with the media right now. It's the same thing.
Yeah. You know, like the reality is that I think there's like three women in this thing have experienced some like a lot of harassment, death threats, and stuff like that. And you know what? We're like, I don't abide by death threats. I don't abide by harassment. Okay, but when they're equating honest to God criticism as hatred and harassment, there's something wrong. Criticism is what makes us better people. As a writer, because as many of you guys know, I am a writer. I didn't get better at it by just not listening to people. I got better at it by taking people's criticism seriously and realizing, oh, hey, you're right, I could do better there. You know? And like, just to me, that whole thing is just disgusting. Like, I can't even deal with it.
Well, there's good criticism and there's bad criticism.
Yeah, constructive criticism versus fucking, hatred. There's a difference, Telling somebody they suck is not good criticism. Telling somebody they suck and then telling them why they suck, on the other hand.
Criticism, yeah, absolutely.
But what about if it's true? I tell you smell every once in a while, and it's kind of true.
Well, then you should take that as to go have a shower. Yeah. But that's constructive criticism. See, that's criticism with a point. If you tell him that he stinks...
Yeah, but if he doesn't like what I say, he can just say I'm, right? If he doesn't like what I'm saying, he doesn't believe the same thing that I'm saying. See what I mean?
Well, we actually don't know if we smell until someone points out the fact that we smell.
Yes.
Oh,
that's because he's covered in his own he's covered in his own scent, so he's so used to it, he's blinded to it. Well, his nose is anyway.
It's like your car. You go into somebody's car.
That's actually a pretty good analogy for this entire thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That is a good analogy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
They can't even smell their own stink.
Anita
You're cut out again.
Yep.
Yeah, you completely cut out again.
Yeah, what I said was that she needs to take a shower. I'm cutting out a lot, guys. I apologize for that. The rest of them should be pretty clear, though.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, for all those listening out there, you can say something in the chat. I'm going to say something now. Hey. Say something.
We will respond.
Comment.
We will respond to anything you say. Just give us time to respond to it.
It takes about 2 minutes for when you type something. It takes 2 minutes for you to hear what we're saying back. There's about a 2-minute delay.
Roughly.
Roughly, yeah, about.
Ish.
A boot?
Sort of. A boot. There's a boot to 2-minute delay, eh?
Well, we are all so yeah.
But
anyways,
but it's just, I just don't like when people say stuff and then other people go, well, this isn't actually the facts, but here's my reasoning, and then people go, no, I don't want to hear it. No, that's it.
Why is my internet so slow? Jesus.
The problem with that kind of thinking, that just believe, it makes sheep out of people, and it's absolutely, I mean, who's to say, if you don't critically examine the things that you're being told as true, you're going to believe any old nonsense. I mean, it's the same that kind of thinking is what has brought us to this whole Islamic thing. And these people have been brought up and told and taught that to think and believe what they do. They've never had the option or the ability to question that kind of belief, and now they have a suicidal hate for everybody because they've been taught this. They've been taught it. They haven't questioned it. They haven't critically examined what they've been taught or they've been told. And if everybody were to be doing this, imagine all the things that we would all be believing simply because we've been told them. I mean, something isn't true simply because somebody says it is. Take everything that you're told and critically examine it. Demand evidence. Demand to know what the person's source for this information is. Basically, if you can't back up your statements credibly, then your statements are worthless.
Futile.
That's exactly why I got kicked out of my church.
That's exactly why I don't believe in God.
Yeah. Hey now, don't speak ill of Scientology. Careful, they actually do sue.
Yes.
Oh, hey, EJ, just sent you the link for that paper that article that was written in end of 2012 about
Yes.
School shooters
Tweet it to
who are
me,
not
or
white
am I
males.
just... Yeah.
What?
I
Well,
haven't
it's actually
received it yet.
written. Oh, okay. Well, it's actually written by a psychologist. He wrote a book, "Why Kids Kill Inside the Minds of School Shooters."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
That sounds...
he's pretty reputable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sounds
it's
like
actually
something
from Psychology Today. So.
Yeah. Actually, I used to read that magazine all the time.
I'm subscribed to that magazine, yeah. I like it quite a bit.
Magazine.
Well, I subscribe to the Facebook version of that magazine.
Yeah, we're now still...
Who actually, does anybody here actually subscribe to a magazine nowadays?
There you go, Robin.
You
I
kind of
would if I was ever at home.
Yeah.
Our dear old Robin, who has commented on the fact, do you subscribe to a magazine? There you go. There's something to comment on.
I used to subscribe to like Maxim and stuff when I was like younger, back in the day. I'm pretty sure that's just whatever.
I think I used to have subscriptions to a couple of different magazines when I like, and this is going on like 10 years ago now, but I haven't had a subscription to the magazine pretty much since the internet.
Pretty much it.
I'm looking at what Robin's saying on the chat here, and you know what? I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. She's making a very good point, and it is that a lot of the issue with this is that people are arguing against Gamergate based on feelings rather than facts. So I'm actually willing to take it a step further and say that this whole debate, this whole argument, is logic versus feelings.
Yes. I feel, therefore it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. They're feels over reals, and we're reals over feels. So that's where the disconnect comes in.
Yes.
If people take away their feelings and look at the simple facts about things, a lot of the arguments that we deal with would be eradicated. Simple as that.
If only people would do that. Exactly. Fuck's sakes. I've been saying that for a long time. Stop feeling about it and start thinking about it.
Well, that's kind of why we progressed to where we're at, right?
Yes.
Critical thinking. It's not. If we kept going with how we were feeling, like we'd be too scared to do anything.
Yes.
Like we'd still be chased by like I don't know lions, fucking grizzly bears and shit. I don't know.
Well, you look at back in the day, you know, back way in the medieval days and everything. Anyone who, like any of the big scientists who stepped out and said, "Hey, I have found this evidence," people were like, "No, we don't want to hear you." A lot of them were jailed, killed, hung, anything like that, because it was spoken against what the average person thought.
So you think that there's been a sort of a natural selection kind of thing as far as breeding out people who question authority? I would absolutely have to agree. People who are more likely to question authority are more likely to be ostracized, less likely to breed, less likely to pass on their genetic material and their genetic predisposition to do such a thing. And the people that we're left with are, well, the people that we're left with.
Have you ever seen Idiocracy, the movie?
Yes.
Terry Crews
No,
is
that
my
was-
favorite
I fear
president
that
ever.
reality. I really fear that reality because that seems like what we're going towards, man. It's crazy.
Screw that! I'm gonna put myself in a time capsule, and I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna watch this unfold.
Just start. You can stop him from spraying Mountain Dew on the plants.
Oh fuck that! I'm gonna help.
It is the best soda ever.
It's got
The movie
electrolytes
itself-
in it. It's what the body craves.
The movie itself was brilliant. I liked the plot line. I like that kind of thing. I think they could have delivered it a little better though.
It was definitely a B movie.
Yeah.
It's a B movie, yeah, absolutely, but a good movie nonetheless. Some
Yeah.
of my favorite movies are B movies.
Yep. And high budget B movies like Slither.
Yeah.
Yes, dude, that thing was pretty
Amazing.
good.
It was amazing.
I love that movie.
We're gonna pause for a second. Robin has commented again, and again, you're absolutely correct. When people see stats and everything that makes or has the same validation of how they feel, they're gonna automatically assume that it's true.
Yep.
Yes, instead of critically critically analyzing the facts that they're giving, the statistics that they're giving, you wanting to know more about how the data was drawn, that's too much work for some people. They just see a number, and I like that number, and I'm going to repeat that number and state it as fact because I saw that number.
Well, that's what actually I'm reading here on Twitter, and there's some people that seem to be saying, because I haven't read the Newsweek article that says that this is, Gamergate is about harassment of women, but there's some people on Twitter right now talking about it, and there seem to be of the opinion that Newsweek just ran with the conclusion that they came to prior to receiving the facts because they did not like those facts.
I heard about that too, yeah. And they've
Well,
been
yeah.
presented
Did
with
you get that
evidence
link yet?
contrary to their articles, and
No,
they
actually,
just
like,
continue.
I'm even
Sorry, go
hold
ahead.
on. Yeah, I'm even looking at your user account, and it doesn't say that you've tweeted anything over.
No, I
past hour
did a
since
direct message.
Oh,
I don't
well,
want
that's why, dude.
Yeah.
You should have just.
Yeah, you just
Dude,
tweeted.
I don't know how this shit works. I'm fucking new at it. I didn't know what a hashtag was. What the fuck do you want from me? Jesus Christ.
We have,
Remember when you were telling me about fucking Anita Sarkeesian like a couple months ago? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. What's happening?
I found your original tweet. I'm retweeting it right now.
apparently, I wasn't allowed to interrupt praising Slither on Robin's account. Sorry.
Gotcha. Hold on. This is what we've been trying to do.
The magical keyboard.
Oh, fuck. Whatever.
Keyboard warrior.
Here we go.
Okay, I think we should jump over to the that graph we were talking about earlier about the Gamergate and like who what the supporters are. All those
What graph?
pies. The pies.
Oh, the pie graph. Yeah, or no, the pie graph. The pie charts. The pie chart looking at the demographic, the racial and gender and demographics of Gamergate.
Yes.
Now, you guys, did I send you guys the link to it?
Yes, I have it open.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I'm just going to tweet out this link too because.
And you're cut out.
Yep.
No, he just said and I think he stopped.
The live stream. Survey of Kotaku in action demographics, but I am going to tweet this out. So anybody who's not following me yet, I'm at Black Trident TV. Okay, so I'm going to tweet this out. All right. So graphics of Kotaku in action users. All right. It's been twittered. Okay, so now you guys are all looking at it?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just
So
looking for
what I
it.
find interesting is that the racial demographics show that obviously, that there's a much higher incidence of white people in it, right? And I've seen a few people on the other side of the argument using this as proof. See, they're all white men. But what they fail to realize, and like this has got to be the stupidest oversight that they could make, is if you look at the racial demographics of the United States and Canada and Europe, which is mainly where Gamergate people are coming from, right? You can actually see that in the statistics there themselves. That's within 3-4%. In fact, some ethnicities are overrepresented.
Ha, I'm the 2%. That's awesome.
You're in the 2%. That's right.
Yeah.
You know?
Wicked.
That makes you special, man. You're special.
Fucking right. I'm a snowflake. Dicks.
But
Yeah.
I mean, even if you took this and said everyone is a white male, this alone proves that you're wrong. Alone, like it doesn't prove. You don't even have to prove anything else, considering only 76% of it is white. You can't discredit the other 24%.
That's still 3 and 4. So they are correct in saying that the majority is white males, but so is the majority of United States,
Canada. We got Canada. I think it was going to say United States, Canada, and Europe.
Just say United States.
Yeah. It's all the same. And then actually another interesting one, if you look down at the sexual orientation demographics, right? Now, I'm not 100% certain of what the actual statistics are for LGBT people in North America or anything like that. I remember looking it up a couple weeks ago, and I know it was something like 8% or 10%, something like that, right? But if you look at the demographics on this, it's actually, again, we have an overrepresentation of sexual orientations. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that I found was very interesting. And so what this shows to me is just that, like, I'd really like to see the demographics of those who are opposed to Gamergate. I would love to see that, because if we've seen from pictures and stuff from XOXO Fest that there's like mainly white people in the audience.
I bet you if they actually did a pie, it would be just white. There would be no other. I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm not saying that could be right. I'm just saying it would most likely be like the same thing where 70% to 80% are going to be white people.
Yeah, well, so yeah, and that's normal, right? That's what you expect to see in a fair representation, right? But like in terms of that fair representation, if you look at those pictures from XOXO Fest, I don't know. I looked at the pictures and I actually remember trying to spot any kind of ethnic minority, and I don't think I could. I think maybe there's one that I wasn't sure about.
Maybe.
So it seems to me that this is like, and like white savior complex is a real problem. I can't stand white savior complex. Let people be.
Oh shit! Yeah, I saw that. Oh fuck! A friend of mine posted that up after the Ottawa shooting.
Yeah.
Oh, that pissed me right off.
So what's I haven't heard about that. So what is that?
Oh, it's they're trying to point out that government officials and whatnot are going to be acting in a way to push their agendas for basically. Crap, where's that article? Sorry, I'm like completely distracted right now. I'm trying to not to die. I'm playing a game right now. But yeah, EJ.
Off.
Huh? I can't do it.
I can't do it.
I can't. I'm like in the middle of something. EJ, can you the article I'm talking about though, right?
I'm not 100% certain about the article, but I can run down what white savior complex is.
Yeah, if you want to do that, and then I'll pull up the article.
All right. So the idea behind white savior complex is that because and like I don't agree with it at all. I hate this idea. I hate the fact that there are white people who think that oh well, we're the ones in power, therefore we're the ones who have to make things better for everyone else. And that it's the responsibility of the white person to be the savior for all these ethnic minorities. I find that so condescending to people who can speak for their goddamn selves. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like, you're not going to be able to get anywhere without our help, so here you go. Like, come on, you guys.
It's like It's like when they first found North America or the New World, they came in and then they just pillaged everything and was all like, "You need our help, you know. Without us, you wouldn't survive." Even though they
Yeah,
survived
and they've been
thousands.
surviving just
Actually,
for
I
15,000
found
years
it.
before they ever showed up, before we ever showed up, you know, white people.
All right, you found it?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna read a quote from it. Like, this is what a friend of mine quoted and then put it on Facebook. I actually had to stop myself from like rage ranting at her. But so here it is. It's terrifying to think that racial, colonial, police state blowback to these acts of violence will be. Oh, to think what the racial, colonial, police state blowback to these acts of violence will be. Perceived dark threats will be sanctioned, erased, disciplined. These narratives will continue. Whiteness will seek white policies and solutions designed to further solidify and normalize its presence, while white violence will once again reign under the guise of order and civility. So this is like it's an attack piece on shit. Who the hell did this? Oh, finally it's loading up.
But that's just
Yeah.
that's to me that's just like we're going back to the whole what we're trying to originally fight against like years ago for fairness across races, and now people are coming in and being all like, no, white should be can rule over everything.
Well, there. Okay, where's that bit? I'm sorry, I'm rereading the article while I'm playing a video game, so I'm
While
kind of
while you
skipping, I guess.
while you're doing that, Robin commented some more, and I'm just gonna jump in and talk to her while you load up your stuff.
Cool.
You are right though. A lot of the issue with Brianna and Sarkeesian is that they're pushing women away, even though there is already a lot of women in the video game area, and then of course they. Sorry.
Sorry, no. You can continue, but I want to add something to this.
Go for it.
Okay, all right. The very first video game I ever played was King's Quest from Sierra Online. PC game back in the late 80s, early 90s. It was a great game for its time, right? The lead artist and developer of the game was Roberta Williams. It was programmed by her husband, Ken Williams. But I was obsessed with that game for years. In fact, every sequel that came out, I played it, and I played the hell out of it because they were just that good of a game. Since then, many female developers and whatnot have come out, and I've played their games. Like one of my favorite game series, Assassin's Creed. If I'm not mistaken, one of the head developers is a female, right?
I think she's a producer.
No, the producer? Well,
I think so.
nonetheless, And while I will agree, yes, there is an issue of underrepresentation. I don't think it's nearly as bad as what the anti-Gamergate people are saying. And by their saying that, Gamergate's scaring people out of scaring them from getting into the games industry, I think that's total bullshit. They're absolutely, Robin's absolutely right in that their stereotyping and scaremongering is only going to keep them out. Look at what Felicia Day said the other day. Right, where she's now afraid of gamers, that she's.
He cut out.
Yeah, he completely cut out.
What he's trying to say is that she would see gamers on the side of the street that she's on, and then cross the street because she's scared of these people, even though these people are not going to hurt her, just because they're gamers.
These people are probably her fans. They probably see. She built her career on being a gamer, geek girl. Look at the Guild. Look at all of her characters that she plays in all these various shows. Supernatural.
Well, can you imagine how many stalkers she's had?
Oh, probably.
I can't fault her for if all she's getting is information. Like, you make the best decision you can with the information you have available to you. If all of her information is coming from from that side, well, then I can't fault her for that. But I think we should get to the next topic. We've been on this one for a little while now.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's fair. Okay, sorry, what was the next topic?
The shooting in Ottawa.
Yes. Shooting in Ottawa. Okay, Ro, I'm going to let you take it off from here.
Yeah, so the shooting, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so that's actually that article I was talking about earlier with, it's actually titled Dark Threats, and get to the top there. Oh, oops. Yeah, it's called Dark Threats and the Normalization of White Terror, Aboriginal Muslims and South Americans in the Ottawa shooting. Now this article was made up before the identity of the shooter was made known. So, like, I at work I had to stop a bunch of people from going straight to like, this thing's ISIS, we're gonna be fucking screwed, blah blah blah. I had to calm down a lot of people at work, and that was kind of ridiculous. So until like I kept telling them, like, until we get more information, don't go fucking saying anything crazy like that, because we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Especially in your industry, that would be a place where, you know, that could go bad.
Well, on Monday, who killed the warrant officer there. It's already been proven that they had no. There was no collusion between the two of them. There were separate incidences, and they're all isolated. So I was glad that information came out.
Wasn't the guy who was shooting it on the Ottawa shooting? They had found that was no. They had him as a clear skin or whatever.
Sorry, I don't know that term.
Someone who isn't already tied to terrorism. They don't.
Well, the thing is, his passport was flagged. He couldn't renew it, but he wasn't on the watch list of the 90 individuals. So that's the thing. Like, there's no way to tell like what brought this on until further investigation. So I can't really say much on that.
I've been watching this and following the news reports closely, and the asshole who did do that, the shooting of the in Ottawa, a few people have come forward saying that they knew this person. He was a heavy drug user. He used approximately $160 worth a day of heroin or crack cocaine or some combination of the two.
Yeah.
They speculate that he obtained his firearm through people in the drug trade, so it's going to be pretty hard to track that back. Good luck. I hope they do, and I hope they find the fucker who gave him that weapon. And that also have found that this person was indeed Islamic. He did believe in Islam. He has ties to a mosque in British Columbia, and he was actually kicked out of that mosque because of his radical views, because he thought that only Muslims should be in the mosque, because he didn't like the fact that anybody could walk in and they had an open door policy. He really didn't like that. He didn't want non-Muslims to be in the mosque. He wanted it to be only for Muslim people.
Yeah,
that was a couple of years ago, and he went just before the shooting. He was over in, I can't remember, New Brunswick or something like that, visited some family there, drove straight from there to Ottawa, spent a night or two at a shelter, went out to the, and in the same car, went out to the War Memorial, shot our man, and then went up and stormed the halls of Parliament.
Isn't that where he got killed? Was the
halls? He was killed in there.
Yeah,
Buddy unloaded his entire mag. Kevin Vickers.
Kevin Vickers, a fucking hero. Definitely, my new favorite person in this world. He dropped down, fired his weapon, unloaded his clip. He got 3 hits and one headshot.
What are we like scoring his hits now?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'd do that too. Fuck. But and that brings me to like the reactions that I was trying to stop while I was at work, like just fear mongering, because that's what led to that mosque being defaced in Alberta. There, I'm super proud to be Canadian for the reaction of the community there. They cleaned the place up. Like, that's amazing, and that's the type of thing that. Trying to blame that on an entire sect of people is, that's disgusting. That's despicable. That's not who we are.
No, you're absolutely right. That's absolutely wrong. People should not be doing that. It's not, and the mosque that they were, that was defaced is just somebody in that town says, oh, it was Muslims who did this. I hate all Muslims. And somebody who obviously didn't think for 2 seconds about what the fuck he was doing. That was an absolutely moronic act. What in the world do you think something like that would accomplish? A, they're not going to listen to you. B, they shouldn't have to leave this country just because they are Muslim. It's
No.
not all Muslims.
People
Now,
who were born
granted,
here.
it is a considerable portion that do hold rather what we would consider to be rather extreme views. I saw a poll, and haven't verified this poll, but I saw a poll, and the number that I saw was 62% are in favor of enforcing Sharia law in Canada. I don't know where that poll was taken, but if it's anything close to the numbers that are actually true, most polls show 20 to 25% of Muslims are in support of Sharia law, things like stoning for adultery, death for apostasy, things like that. These are all covered under Sharia law, and 20 to 25%. I'll go with a low number. 20 to 25% of 1.6 billion people. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, can you post that link for those stats?
Yes, I can. I'll work on that.
Okay.
Just tweet it. I'll retweet it.
Okay.
You're about to say something, EJ?
Yeah, well, it's just that like I was reading on this this Cold Lake, Alberta thing, and like a lot of the people that attend this mosque were born in Canada.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's the thing with
like-
these two individuals. They're Canadian. Like
They were
they're
Canadian
Canadian.
They were
Straight up.
yeah.
Well, yes. Homegrown terror is a brand new kind of terrorism. It's
Go
not to
home.
worry about the people who are coming into the country. The people that we may have to have the most to fear from are the ones who actually already live here now, and that's kind of fucked up.
But at
Yeah.
the same time, telling them to go home, they are home.
Yeah, I know. Isn't
Yeah.
that idiotic? Again,
Yeah.
like I said before, this is obviously the person who did this put no manner of forethought into what he was doing. He was just saw it and got pissed off and got emotional and wasn't thinking about what he was doing. Not an excuse, but he really, 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 really fucked up. Like, that's a stupid
Yeah.
thing to do. All you're going to do is you're going to take these people and you're going to make them feel like they are not at home. Now, fortunately, the community did come together and they cleaned the whole thing up. They put up posters. They fixed the window. They did absolutely the right thing
Yeah.
to do, because the last thing in the world that you want to do is make these people feel ostracized. And you already know that the jihadists
You could
are
push them into radicalism.
you could be taking somebody who's on the fence, or somebody who isn't yet convinced that they need to take up a jihad in order to do that. So you may just be causing more violence, and that's likely what would happen if we didn't go back and if we didn't do the right thing, and if we didn't show what we are as Canadians is a multinational or multinational. You know what I mean?
We follow.
We gotcha. We're good to go.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just put up that link for that dark threat article or whatever. Yeah, I've got pretty strong opinions about like that entire situation, and Jesus, like I was worried there. Like the guy that did the shooting auto was actually backed by ISIS. I was actually genuinely worried about that, because if he was, like, this would, in my view, it'd be a distraction tactic, and then there'd be more attacks at the same time, coordinated.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm not supposed to say this, but I'm going to say it anyways. A lot of places in town where we live have gotten newspapers and newsletters telling them what to do if someone comes in and attacks wherever they're located.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, for instance, one of the malls, everyone who worked at that mall got a newsletter stating if the mall was attacked by a gunman, this is what you're supposed to do.
Okay, but that's just a gunman. That's not talking about like
No, this is
ISIS.
no.
Okay.
I know that, but this has been put out since the attack in Ottawa. Like this is in
Okay.
response to the attack.
Yeah. There's
Well, that's a good thing. I mean, the potential for these kinds of attacks is there. ISIS has come out commemorating this person, saying that he is one of their brothers. He's in heaven now, getting his 72 virgins. And I can't remember the fucking tweet, but it was what it said. What it said basically was, look at all of the good that this person did. He brought this country to a standstill, and he didn't even have to leave home. And that's terrifying. That's fucked up, man.
Like that is terror right there.
That is exactly what they're trying to instill, is terror. And that tweet was also followed with a call to other Islamic extremists to take up arms against anybody. It was to fight this fight and take it to anyone, any member, or any Canadian or any infidel at any time in any way that you can. And you saw you got to see the results of that in New York with the man with a hatchet of all weapons. Cleaving an officer in the head and a second officer before he was shot and killed on sight.
I didn't hear about that.
You didn't hear about that? That was in
No.
New York.
That happened after Ottawa?
The next day.
The next day.
Yes.
Yeah, it was actually. I think was it yesterday? Because it happened the same time as the around the same time as the shooting and the school shooting and the shooting in LA. There, the 2 deputies were hurt. The same with that civilian.
Yes. Yeah, it was all right around the same time yesterday, which is I was going, what?
There was a lot of stuff going on yesterday.
There was
Jesus
a lot
Christ.
of stuff. I'm still trying to catch up on everything.
Yeah.
That's kind of ridiculous. This is I don't even know how to like respond to this. It's just, to me, this is kind of like nuts. Like, this is crazy.
This is religion. This is what religion does. These are people who take their religion very seriously. They follow their books, and I know the moderate Muslims, the ones who aren't actually doing the shooting, will say that this is not Islam and they will denounce these people. But you cannot deny.
The head cleric in Canada denounced all these actions from the extremists.
Yes, and I'll elaborate further on that
Okay.
in a short bit. It's part of what's called the Islamification of the West, and I'll move into that once I find the article on it. Now I've lost my train of thought. Go ahead. Where the hell was I before I got taken off there? Fuck.
I was hypnotized by her voice. It does things for me. I'm saved right in the spank bank.
But, like, there's a common thread in what we've been talking about throughout this entire live stream so far, and that is extremism.
Yes.
Like, absolutely. And they're sitting there saying that gamers are worse than ISIS, and you know what? We're not.
Yeah, when I found out about that, I almost lost my shit.
You seem to lose your shit all the time, or
I do.
potentially.
I do.
We're not the ones suckering the youth into believing in extremist viewpoints through use of scaremongering and shit like that,
No, I mean, when we'll jump quickly back into Gamergate. Anyone who actually is a gamer, like a real gamer, doesn't care. Like, I don't care what race you are. I don't care if you're male or female. If you want to play video games with me, here's my Steam account. I will play with you.
Yeah, let's not get too off track here. Let's keep it to the topic, though.
I'm just looking for that.
Boaz, you got your train of thought back? Or is that thing still running away?
My thought train has been derailed, but it was derailed, but it has been since derailed. I was looking for the post at the same time. So I was saying, this is what you get when you take your religion very seriously. We had the exact same kind of thing a number of years ago. It was called the Dark Ages. This is when Christianity and Catholicism ruled the world and ruled it with the sword. These people are trying to establish the exact same thing. The passages that they take out in the Quran. And now the Quran, I know the word Islam means peace. That's what the word is supposed to mean. But I think we need to redefine the word Islam, because you don't see any other group going around. I mean, I can't say any other group, but the majority of the people that you see going around and cutting people's heads off, stoning women, all these things are prescribed. These are exactly what you're supposed to do if you follow their books, if you follow the Quran, if you follow the Hadith. For those who don't know, the Hadith follows the Prophet Muhammad and his ventures throughout the world. It describes his ascension into heaven on a winged horse and all their kinds of nonsense.
Man, I want one of those. That'd be fucking sweet.
A winged
horse?
Where
do I sign up? Yeah, I want a winged horse.
Oh, man.
I've got one. It's
yeah,
on.
But that one's fake.
Wow.
Obviously, the winged horse is real.
Believe in
like dinosaurs.
Norse mythology, and you'll get Thor's horse to bring you to heaven.
Yes.
Nah, I go with Odin's, the 8-legged horse.
Odin's. Yes.
Sorry, Odin. Sorry, my mistake. Thor's Odin's son, and blah 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 blah. And the horse is what the heck is this? Norse mythology is so weird.
Norse mythology
awesome.
It's awesome. That's my
Norse mythology is amazing.
No,
What the
I'm not
fuck's
saying
that giant's name that with the flaming sword who basically ends Ragnarok?
Yeah,
Yeah, what the fuck's his name? I can't remember.
I can't remember. It's good. He's got a cool name. My snake, I have a ball python, is Ormir. Ormir is
nice.
one of the names for the world snake that encompasses the entire world, lives in the ocean, and come the time of Ragnarok, Thor will come and fight with the world snake, fight with Ormir, and drown him or something like that.
No, but he dies from the poison.
Yes, the poison will kill him. Yeah.
Guys, I'm just gonna be quiet for a second here. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Have fun.
We'll move on to the next topic, I guess.
Or
are we still going on the politics stuff?
We'll continue about religion here for just a second. All these religions, like our main three religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Muslim, if you actually read the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran, a lot of the stuff is shared between the three of them.
Yes. Well, they're all Abrahamic religions. They're all based on the God of Abraham and the Old Testament, basically. Judaism pretty much follows the Old Testament a lot better than any of the other ones. The Muslims, Islam, they follow their prophet, like the Christians have their prophet, which is Jesus. The Muslims have their prophet, which is...
I only follow baby Jesus. Sorry.
Baby Jesus. They have their prophet called Baby Jesus, and the Muslims have their prophet, and their prophet's called Muhammad. They both walk around, do all kinds of cool shit, and eventually go up to heaven. And it's a nice story, but actually, it's not a nice story. It's full of all kinds of stuff. If you were to make a movie about the Bible, you would have to make it R-rated. There is no book that has that I'm aware of that has as much or more death. Every single person in the world dies, save for 8. Every single animal in the world dies, save for 2 of each species. The entire
Except for the fucking unicorns, man.
That's what happened to unicorns. That's why there are no unicorns. They missed
Pisses me off. Fucking
I know.
dicks.
Fucking majestic creatures, weren't they?
I know.
Scottish is...
Stop fucking derailing my thought train.
Sorry. I'm kind of a troll.
No, but these are what happens when you take your religion very seriously. When you actually follow word for word the things that are in their Quran or in the Bible. I mean, if people followed the Bible word for word, they would be stoning to death gays. You don't see that very often. There are still some people out there, but they speak out against it. They don't want to have gay marriage. They want to hate the sin and not the sinner kind of thing. Which, you're kind of reforming your views, I guess. It's better than killing people. But, I mean, if you were to follow the Bible literally, nobody would be allowed to work on Sunday under pain of death. These are all the same kinds of things and that you'll see in the Muslim religion, where women have to keep their bodies concealed and hidden. Where if you leave the religion, if you become an apostate, it's called, the prescription for that is death. And that's one of the easiest ways to discern whether or not somebody believes in what their religion is, as far as it comes with Islam. Ask them one simple question: if somebody leaves their religion, somebody is an apostate, do they deserve to die for that? If their answer is anything other than no, then there you go. You've just outed that person as a fundamentalist believer in Islam. They think somebody who simply changes their mind in their head about whether or not that religion is real, they should die. In fact, even if somebody comes to that religion and then leaves that religion an hour later, if somebody is brought into the Muslim religion, Islam, and leaves an hour later, even if they go back to their own religion, and the Quran specifically mentions this, in chapter 3, I think it is, then that person is to die. Is an apostate.
You're talking about apostasy.
Yes, apostasy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure.
And there are a lot of people, a lot of Muslim people, really believe that. Not a lot of them are willing to actually commit the murder in Western culture. But if you've seen any videos, you can see there are a lot of people out there who actually do believe and actually do practice this stuff. I saw a video the other day, and it's absolutely sickening. I won't provide a link to it. It should not be spread around. A man brought his daughter before a little council. The council condemns her, and then the father is forced to throw stones at her until she dies. About baseball-sized rocks they've collected in a pile. And you can see in the video the father throwing stones at his daughter, and she eventually is crushed by the stones and killed.
That's disgusting.
It's absolutely horrific.
Fucked up shit.
This is the people that are doing these kinds of bombings. Unfortunately, Western society has kind of pushed that part of their religion out of most people's lives. But it still exists.
Is someone watching the video? Because I hear echoes.
I hear echoes too.
That might be me.
That's so you, man.
Yeah.
Way to go, EJ. Way to
Good
go.
job.
Tech wizard right there. Fuck.
But even in like every religion, if you actually read the books, because all of them are so old, they all mention this exact same thing, and it's just people taking an older style of seeing things and putting it into a modern world where they don't belong.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's a 1,300-year-old religion, you know, and it hasn't updated itself to modern technology, modern global village kind of stuff. It might have worked fine when they were a bunch of little nomadic tribes and stuff from the Middle East, but nowadays it just doesn't fly anymore.
Well, no, the way I look at religion and mythology and all that stuff, like they're all stories. They all contain lessons within them, and it's just taking those lessons out of the narrative, right? That's the way I look at it, because I've done a lot of research on different mythologies, like Hercules' redemption when he fucking crazy kills his family.
Yeah.
Like that, he does that as penance. Like that's why he did his the ordeals and whatever the fuck. It's there's good in in the ideas and the stories of religion. It's following shit like without really critically thinking. That's the way to disaster.
I like to call religion the very first science fiction novels.
Yes. Well, I like fantasy.
I do too. I do too. And as a story, I mean, it's a pretty good horror story. I mean, the guy, if you take the Jesus story, I mean, the guy gets killed at the end, brutally crucified. I mean, that's kind of like
that's some dark shit.
That's some pretty dark shit. That would be in a horror film. We see that in horror movies. The people like to forget about those parts, about the brutality of these kinds of things, about the unhuman how unhuman they are. But religion has always been used as a system of oppression, and what better way to oppress people than to tell them if they don't do what you say, they're going to suffer for eternity in a magic land that can only be described to them and never provided any evidence of. What better way to control somebody's thoughts? What better way to control somebody's actions? That if you don't do what they say, they'll bury you waist deep in a hole or shoulder deep in a hole and throw stones at you until you die. And then when you die, you're also going to go to hell for eternity to be tormented for all time.
What was it? When religion was written, back then people didn't have much, so to have something to believe in, to give them hope, they fell for it. Is really what it was.
Hope is poisonous. Just saying, guys.
It is.
Hope is poisonous.
Well, that's exactly it. My favorite things of all is that the Bible, the New Testament, was written something like 300 years after the death of Jesus. If you follow that, it's like a 300-year gap, and then the book was written. So there's 300 years of missed communication.
No interesting fact about the Bible, and specifically the Jesus story. Nobody who ever wrote about Jesus actually met him. The earliest known account of and there's serious speculation as to whether or not this Jesus character actually ever existed in the first place, but I won't get into that because I'm still learning more and more about that. But as far as the historicity of it, the credibility of the history of the book like the Bible, like you said, the person who was depicted, Jesus Christ in the Bible, nobody ever met the guy that wrote about him. The earliest known account of something being written about Jesus in the Bible is almost 100 years later, 90 years later. Is the earliest known depiction in history or writing in history about somebody saying anything about Jesus Christ. Now, you would think that if somebody was going around raising people from the dead, turning water into wine, healing the sick, and putting people's ears back on after they got sliced up by the swords, causing such a ruckus with the Roman government and all that kind of stuff, that the Romans or somebody would have written about it at the time of it happening. But no, we don't see that. All we see are the game of telephone. Somebody has gone and said, I heard this story, they pass it along, like fables are passed along. This is the same kind of way that the Norse mythology passed along.
Let's be fair here. We are talking the Romans, though. They would destroy anything that didn't follow what they believed.
Well, see, that's a common argument, but that's actually not true. The Romans were very good record keepers. They kept excellent records of victories and defeats.
They were meticulous about that shit.
Absolutely meticulous. That argument is absolutely false. The Egyptians, the same kind of thing. For when in the Old Testament, let's go to the Old Testament and the historicity of that. In the Old Testament, it said that Moses comes and talks to the Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh doesn't let his people go, kind of thing. So Moses comes back and forth a couple of times and tries to get him to change his mind. God in the story, instead of making the what's he called, the Pharaoh, give his people away, say, okay, yeah, fine, take them. He actually is alleged to harden the heart of Pharaoh, which is an interesting moral point. Hardens the heart of Pharaoh. God is fabled to have hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he would not listen to the words of Moses.
That sounds super fucked up.
That is super fucked up, especially when you consider
That's
what follows.
evil.
Plagues. What follows?
Straight up evil.
Plagues. Water turns to blood. There's a plague of locusts destroying all crops. There's a blistering with boils and all this kind of stuff. All these, I think there was 10 plagues or something like that.
7.
And then, was it 7?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. And then the final plague was the plague of death, the one where the lamb's blood is people spread lamb's blood all over their doorways, and so the angel.
Isn't the firstborn son that dies or some shit like that?
And yes, the angel of death comes by and kills the firstborn son of everyone in that town that doesn't have the lamb's blood smeared over their door. Now you would
Fuck, that would suck for me. Jesus.
Yeah, I know, me too. You would think that would be mentioned, because the Egyptians were also excellent record keepers, and if somebody came up and did all these fucking miraculous things, turning a snake into a staff into a snake, and causing everybody to die, all their kids to die, the firstborn male of every family to die, you'd think somebody would have mentioned that just once, because you're going to be pretty pissed off as the Pharaoh. Somebody comes over here, starts demanding all these things, and says, fine, if you don't do it, I'm going to say your kid's going to die, and the next day your kid dies, along with everybody else that's part of your that's under Pharaoh's rule. You would think that would be mentioned, but it's not. It's not mentioned once in history, ever, nowhere outside the Bible. There is also no evidence whatsoever of a tribe of how many Israelites were there? There was a lot of them that wandered the desert for 40 years under the command of Moses.
Something
I
like,
wouldn't know.
I'm going to guesstimate it's something close to 10,000.
I think it was higher, actually, but it was a lot of people. We'll go with 10,000. You think that 10,000 people migrating around the desert would have left some sort of archaeological evidence. We can find archaeological evidence from all sorts of other different kinds of things. People are looking, people are digging, and not one shred of evidence has ever been brought up to prove or support that claim. Not a single one.
Here we go. Robin says the best part about that story is that the Jews were never slaves in Egypt.
And that's the other thing. The Jews were never slaves in Egypt. I forgot about that point. Thank you very much, Robin.
Yeah, it's just like
How many people are watching the stream right now? I can't even tell.
eight of us.
It's been going up and down. I think we had up to 12 at some point, but people are
cool.
joining and leaving right now.
Thanks for staying with us, Robin.
Yes, absolutely. As soon as I start talking about Christianity, people turn off. I'm sorry.
That's actually about the time that it happened, yeah.
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 As soon as I start, because, well, they don't want to hear about it. They don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to be exposed to history, I suppose. They
It's-
believe what they want to believe, and they don't want to be told any different. Now, they won't take a second to listen to what's being said. They won't take a second to consider opposing viewpoints. They won't take a second to check things that are being told to them by fact. Back those.
Sounds a lot like what's going on in Gamergate.
Just like what's happening in Gamergate, exactly the point that I was bringing back to. This is the importance of critical thinking. If we had more people who were critical thinkers, who demanded evidence, who backed up sources, who checked, who did their due diligence before believing something, who required proof, we wouldn't have this whole Gamergate issue. We wouldn't have a lot of the problems in the world, including religion and terrorism. Terrorism is a direct result of everything that I've just mentioned.
It's like the whole thing with the listen and believe, like we were talking about earlier. It's just like evidence to why you should question everything you hear.
Question everything with vigor. Wouldn't you rather know something that's correct or not believe, instead of somebody telling you something and you just believing it, the chances of you believing something that's been told to you that's not true are very high. If you demand evidence, if you do your homework, you're going to believe one less incorrect thing about the world.
But you have to remember human nature. We're fucking lazy. We're lazy as fuck.
People just, they hear something.
I'm lying down right now. I got mac and cheese on my chest. I'm eating mac and cheese. It's all over my chest right now, guys. And I don't give a shit. I got my KD. It's fucking... Sorry?
Yeah, what was that, EJ? No,
he's completely cut. Okay, next time I'm fucking lending him one of my headsets because this is ridiculous.
It's his computer that's the problem, I think.
It makes him sound like he's one minor head injury away from using his own shit. You know what I mean? It's terrible. Terrible.
Okay, I think he's back.
Can you hear me now? Oh, come on, respond. I swear to God. Do it. Do it.
Do what?
Okay, he's back.
Okay, he didn't hear that insult. That's good.
Well, wrap yourself up in saran wrap, bro.
I will as soon as I get more Vaseline. I ran out last time I was pretending to be a slug.
How did that work out for you?
It was actually pretty good. Yeah, I've taken to trolling girls on Tinder because I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Just sending them retarded messages as soon as I match up with them. Like, don't you hate it when velociraptors break into your room and start throwing bananas at you? Or stupid shit like that, or talking about slugs. I don't know.
So I kind of want to bring it back. Sorry, I kind of wanted to bring this back to Gamergate.
Okay.
Because of and there was context to basically all that religion and extremism talk. In that it's precisely the same as what we're seeing from a lot of the people who are hardline against Gamergate. I'm not talking about the people who just believe what they're seeing in the news. I'm talking about the hardliners. You know?
It's
the cultists.
It's the House of Cards effect.
The social justice cultists.
Social justice warriors and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
People taking what they're told and not seeking any evidence before they act.
Yeah.
I like to think of as bandwagon hoppers, man. Holy Jesus. Okay, so first off, I am in the Canadian Armed Forces. I've had to deal with bandwagon jumpers so often. A lot of the dudes that do it are just trying to get laid, for the most part, that I've seen. Not gonna lie, I've fucking, I've dipped my toe in that stupid shit before I grew up a bit. You know.
Hey, nice uniform, wanna fuck? That kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's pretty awesome, actually. I might re-enlist. I was in the reserves for a
Yeah,
little while.
yeah, I don't do that right now. I'm not even joking.
Tell me about, because you know what happened. Yeah, when I saw this whole thing with ISIS and everything like that, my first patriotic instinct was to re-enlist. Tell me about
Oh,
that. Why would that be a bad decision, as you stated?
at oh no, this is just me personally. I've been in for a decade now, and it's just man, we've got so many. Like when I first joined up, it was fun. It was like good camaraderie. It's just morale's kind of shit right now, especially with the government cutting our budget by 32 billion and just trying to make us do more work with far less. And
Yeah,
it's
they
it's
cut the budget.
it's honestly like killing us.
They cut the budget in half, and then Harper gave it to the Indians.
Hmm? Oh, I see. I don't mind that,
I
right?
don't. I
Like,
don't. I don't mind.
like
I don't. I don't mind giving
the
help.
Aboriginals have their right to like what they're owed. Like I've got no qualms with that. It's just we use like what I think it was like not even 2% of the GDP to fund the military, and that's why we're joking NATO. Like we're a complete joke. But anyways, I think I'm getting off track now. I've got like really strong opinions about shit.
That's okay. Opinions are good. Opinions make the world go round.
Okay, so what I wanted to bring it back to here is yesterday there was a petition that was started by a bunch of Swedish developers, including some of my favorite gaming companies, which made this kind of hurt that much more, right? That they wanted to start a new hashtag called Game Diversity, in which they support diversity in gaming. Well, I'm a Gamergate supporter, but I also support diversity in gaming. So I decided I was going to sign this petition, and I was going to put Gamergate as my organization. And then I realized that they were regularly scrubbing the list of all supporters of Gamergate throughout. So it's basically tacitly.
What the hell was that?
Okay, he's cut off again.
Yeah.
Again here. Yeah, it's basically tacitly saying that, oh, okay, well, you're not allowed to support diversity because you support Gamergate. And that's some serious bullshit. For anybody interested, you could check out the link on the description in the video here. You know, if you want to go sign it, for sure, go sign it, but don't put Gamergate because they'll just remove you from the list. I even sent them a complaint email about it. I didn't receive a response. So I don't know what to say.
Is there like a list of the developers involved, or?
Yeah. If you go here, I'll tweet you the link.
Cool.
And if you go and there's a bunch of game companies and stuff, and various companies that are backing this, right? So here, oh, I spelled your name wrong. I'm sending it to some weird dude.
You're still saying it's some weird dude, man.
Yeah, but at least you're a weird dude. I know. Better the devil you know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been called far worse by far better, so whatever, man.
Yeah. So all right, I just tweeted it to you. So yeah, if you go check out that link, you can see that like Paradox game, which makes the Europa Universalis and Crusader Kings games, which are like some of my favorite games, PC games. They did that. They signed up. I think IGN's up on there, like a bunch of stuff. And
IGN, really?
Yeah, and like the scary thing is,
did you see that IGN article on harassment? That was a really good article.
Yeah? I haven't actually read it yet.
Go check it out.
I will after the stream, but that's just the thing, right? Like what I find most hilarious about this is a lot of the articles that are coming out that are saying, "Oh, harassment's bad." Like 90%, and I am just pulling that number out of my ass, but something like 90% of Gamergaters agree. Harassment's bad. It's horrible. We shouldn't fucking have to put up with it. And neither should the other side of this whole thing. But criticism and commentary and questions, those are not harassment.
That's exactly what I wanted to tweet to that person who was the whatever her name is. She sent a tweet out about how everybody's harassing her. Oh, I'm getting all this harassment. No, you're not getting harassment. There may be some. But what you're getting majorly is criticism. And criticism is not harassment. Criticism is a good thing. You should be welcoming criticism. Shun harassment, but you want people to tell you why what you're doing is wrong.
Oh, she doesn't.
No,
she
doesn't.
You know, she removed all commentary on all of her videos on YouTube on the tropes versus women. I actually encourage that you know, Boaz, you should go watch those videos just to get a feel of the kind of shit that she's saying.
Yeah.
I've actually never watched those. I think I'll get too angry.
I have, and she might have a few points in a few of those areas, but the fact of the matter is that she uses straw men to prove a point. She talks about like Hitman Absolution and how the player is encouraged to go kill these.
Oh wait, yeah, I saw a YouTube video on that. I think it was by Sargon of Todd or Thunderfoot.
I've never actually seen any of this. Sorry, just gonna point that out there. I'm still here, by the way.
Yep.
Hi.
Okay. I cut out again.
Ro, I tweeted a picture I think you'll find hilarious. I couldn't remember your.
So. Oh.
Okay, were we talking about Thunderfoot?
Yes.
Oh yeah. No, I've seen that one before. Yeah, a buddy of mine sent that to me like a long time ago, and I think it's on my Facebook or some shit. But,
yeah, but the fact of the matter is, you were actually discouraged from killing those strippers. You know, you're not supposed to do that. You lose points. It's just like, so it was a complete and total straw man, like fabrication, and there's a lot of evidence that she's been like not even like there's a lot of questions on whether or not she's actually playing these games. Because
she was stealing. Didn't she steal some streams from other YouTubers for the game?
Stole footage.
And you're cut out again.
Yep.
Robin, you're right. Sorry, we haven't been able to get at you right now. Sorry, I'm just gonna point it out there. Sorry. But yes, they're taking these criticisms and questions as harassment, and then again using the straw man effect and reversing them and being like about them. Who's drinking coffee?
Oh, you could hear that, could you?
Yes. Is it coffee?
It is coffee. I'll be more quiet with my coffee drinking.
I'm chugging beer. Yeah.
I don't drink, so I'll choose.
Should have a drunk live stream one night.
I stopped drinking like a while, like a couple of years ago, for a couple of years. I used to be a bad person.
Would that be the crazy white girl wasted we got on New Year's a few years ago?
Oh man, no, that was actually way before that while I was not drinking. Yeah, no, that was a good time, man.
That was a good night. We should do that again sometime.
I'm down for right now.
Yeah, what about right now?
Maybe after the stream.
Maybe.
Yes. I'm working on it right now.
And then we should live stream on getting white girl wasted. Yeah.
I think a drunken live stream would probably get me banned.
I think it'd get all of us banned.
I think that could be banned for anybody. Yeah.
Oh, whatever. This is a dummy account. I don't give a shit.
So you actually are admitting to your being a sock puppet right now.
Pretty much. My Twitter name is IR Sock right now. No, seriously. I made that like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, what were we talking about again before we got sidetracked?
Oh, I don't know. I think we're in the open discussion, right?
Yeah,
we're
in open
saying
discussion.
random shit.
Okay. It's just like yeah,
whatever strikes our fancy, whatever.
I want to bring it back to, because we have a member of the Canadian Forces here, and I want to utilize some of your expertise and a little bit of your inside information. What do you think? How credible are these the ISIS's call to other people to take up the banner of jihad? Do you think more people are going to be doing that? Do you think we're going to see more acts of terror in the near future?
Yeah, that's in all honesty, like they made that threat back in the end of September that Canadians should be attacked and blah blah all that shit. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was going around Facebook pretty hard.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was back in September. We're currently like half or more than halfway through October, and the individuals that were involved in those two separate attacks against members of the Canadian Forces they're radicals, like, straight up, but they couldn't find any ties to ISIS, and they're all isolated incidents. So sadly, I'm pretty sure we're going to see more. That's from my opinion. I'm not one of the intelligence guys, so I can't tell you anything about that. Like, this is just me, my personal opinion. Yeah.
So you do think more people are going to be answering this call that ISIS has been putting out? Because I've been watching what they're saying. I've been watching the tweets that they put out. Their Twitter accounts are up for a day and they get shut down, but their message is still getting out there.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you can't stop. Like, the thing is, you can't stop an idea. You can't stop a movement like that. There's no way. There's no physical way. You can't shut it down. Just as you can't shut down this third wave feminism shit that's going on. Like,
there's a lot of bad.
And just to be clear, I'm not comparing them to ISIS or any shit like that. That's fucking retarded. ISIS is fucking. They're despicable.
You're comparing the ability to spread an idea, not the ideas themselves.
No, fuck no.
No, of course not.
There is a movie that came out I think in the early '90s. It was called Pump Up the Volume. And it had, I think, Christian Sutherland running a pirate radio station and talking about corruption going on at his school, and how the FCC was coming around trying to shut it down. And for anybody who hasn't seen it, like, it is an older movie, but like, it's really, really good, and it's very poignant, and it's very kind of related to a lot of the discussions happening now. And the idea is that an idea is like a virus. You can't just stop it, right?
I like to think of it as a plague. Well, in this case, anyways.
Well, ideas can be both good and bad, right? It's like the only way to stop a bad idea.
And you cut out right after you said bad idea. The only way to stop a bad idea is silence.
Exactly.
For fuck's sake.
He is right, though. I mean, it is the best
way. The only way to stop a good idea is, god damn it. The only way to stop a bad idea.
Are you serious? Oh, sorry. I'm just looking at the list of people on that diversity thing. Fucking Dice is on there. Damn it. I love Dice.
Cutouts.
So I can't put Gamergate there. That sucks.
Kyle, finish what you were saying. The only thing that could stop a bad idea
is silence. Come on. He's giving us hints here.
Yeah. Oh, no, seriously, I think he's cut out.
Is he cut out again?
Yeah. Completely.
I'm here.
You're here.
Oh.
I'm here. It's just, I'm getting really annoyed with this thing. The only way to stop a bad idea is with a good idea. There we go. I said it.
So that's absolutely right. The only way to stop a bad idea is a good idea. What do you think about the people who have these bad ideas, these radical ideas, as they're being called? How do you think that we could stop that? How do you think we could stop them from going out and committing these acts of terror? There's been talk of de-radicalization as a potential tactic, but I mean, I don't know if I believe whether or not that's going to work, because I mean, these people are learning this ideology from somewhere, and so you're asking the people who are they're going to be their mosque leaders or whatnot to sit down and talk to these people and say, no, I know that there's mention of jihad and all this stuff in the Quran, but just don't listen to that. I don't understand how they expect to use their religion to fight their own religion.
The only way to really do that without falling back onto censorship, which I don't like censorship. I don't think it's a good idea. But I think the only way to really fight that is with a stronger PR campaign than what they're running.
I could see that going.
You know, and that's just my opinion. Now, I am woefully uneducated on a lot of this stuff. This is more Triple T's area, right? Who's not with.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah, he might have some useful advice in that area, because he knows what he's talking about there. But in my opinion, that the only way to really fight against, you got ISIS out here saying, oh, hey, radical Muslims the way to go. You've got the Anita Sarkeesian and her followers and stuff like that saying that, toxic masculinity is the cause of all the world's ills, right? So the only way to really fight against that is to come out with a good idea that's got as much of a latch onto point, you know what I mean by latch onto, like something that people can relate with, and put it out there at a much better rate and a much better velocity than they are.
Motherfucker, do you want to? Okay, similar topic, but a little bit of a divergence. I run a group of people who are concerned about this ISIS threat and who are monitoring it and talking amongst each other in discussion and basically spreading awareness about them. Again, to try to add some counterweight to the ideas that are being spread. And we've had numerous times people from ISIS or ISIS supporters come onto our page and try to come onto our page and spread their bullshit. A couple people successfully managed to have accounts that said that have snuck in. Anyway, I just got another guy who isn't very smart. I think that he is. His name is Khalid Librahim, and he is from Egypt, and he has a picture of Canadian geese on his background, and his profile picture is a picture of the god Isis.
Wait.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that one out too. Hold on.
You don't see the symbology that he's trying to hide. Canadian geese, and his picture is the god Isis, the Egyptian god Isis.
Isn't that goddess? Wasn't ISIS
Goddess.
female?
Sorry, yes, goddess.
Yeah. Weird.
So I have to block that person.
Yeah.
There's. I'll read to you. I've had numerous people. I think we're up.
Oh wow, I was completely muted there. Sorry guys. Yeah, the Canadian geese is reference to the Canadian Air Force members that have gone over.
Yes, thank you very much.
It's pretty blatant. I don't know.
Pretty blatant.
That's just me.
He must think he's clever, but he's not slipping past me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to bring up here a conversation that I had with somebody who wanted to join and who I thought was questionable. So I questioned him as to why he wanted to join our group. See if I can find it here. I think I posted it on Kyle.
While you're looking that up, Robin says that it's actually the second wave feminism that we're dealing with.
Oh, maybe it was Mike. Yeah.
Second wave.
Yeah, that's what she says. Well, read the comments.
Hold on, I gotta get. There's so much misinformation about what kind of feminist is what. So I'm not even sure if I have it down. From what I understand, the second wave was the push in the late 70s and the early 80s, but I didn't see this much hate from them back then. Not that I am 50 years old or anything, but it wasn't until over the past 5 to 10 years. Yeah, I'm older than all you fucks.
Whoa, relax there, bud. Jesus.
Yeah, that's a little bit of age discrimination going on.
Yeah, what the fuck?
He's got a kid and a wife and a house.
Sorry, I don't mean to fuck you up. Yeah, keep going.
Stop derailing. Shut up. Poof. Okay.
Listen, believe.
Over the past 10 years that I've seen such a push, especially in online areas, again.
Oh,
and
seriously?
Cut out.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You cut out.
For all sorts of things, right?
You're back now. You cut out.
Yeah, you have to say that all again, man.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
We got.
It's been only the past 10 years or so. Shut up, John. It's only been the past 10 years that I've seen such an anti-male rhetoric, especially in online circles. With the advent of Jezebel and fucking, a lot of the shit that Gawker Media is pushing out, oh, men are the problem, men are the problem, men are the problem, and it's just well, men are half the
Men are and cuts out.
Yeah, men are half the problem.
There you go.
Okay. Women are the other half of the problem. Just like, you know, like that, and that's how they're trying to say, oh no, it's a one-sided issue. It's a one-sided issue. It's not one-sided. Okay. An action begets a reaction always, 100% of the time. You know, whether
Isn't
men
that
commit the action and women react, or women commit the action and men react. It's not so simple as like it's men, and it really pisses me off. I'm not about to go around and saying that women are the problem, because they're not the problem. Okay, we're both the problem and we're both the solution.
Yes, absolutely.
Isn't
And that's
it,
all I have to say.
one of the basic laws of physics where every reaction gets a reaction?
An equal and opposite reaction, yes.
Yes.
So there you go, right there. Just saying.
An object will also travel unhindered unless affected by
Acted
an
upon.
outside source.
Let's see.
Okay, so I have
Are we
up
silent
that.
now? What's going on? You guys? Are we,
No,
like,
we're just waiting for Boaz, which she's
Yeah.
good to go.
Okay,
Okay.
so I have this. I have my conversation here. So this person, I wanted applied to join my group. I said, you applied to join my group, and he says, yeah, fuck ISIS. So I said, where do you live? He says, Quebec. I said, I don't believe him. I says, what do the stop signs say? A minute or two goes past. He says, well, I says, and then he goes, he tries to derail. He says, another one of your admins is harassing me like crazy or something like that. And this probably somebody else, it was one of the other admins asking him the same questions as I'm asking because his account is suspicious. Who are you? What are you doing here? What do you want? And so we go on. I said, what one? He's telling me about it. And I talked to the other guy back and forth, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure this guy is trying to get in here to infiltrate." And so I lay some bait. I tell him, "You're reported to CSIS. We know that you're ISIS. You cannot hide." He says, "What? You people are nuts." And I say, "What did the stop sign say?" Another couple of minutes go by. I guess he does a Google search, and he says, he may have either he's decided to answer. He says, in my area they say arrête. I am
All
right
say
now.
right. It's fucking French as shit.
Exactly. In my area, they say arrête. Well, of course they say arrête in your area. It's Quebec. Exactly. So okay, I'm thinking you're not who you're saying you are. And so he says, I call him an ISIS agent, and he asked me, "Are you people trolls?" I said, I said, we're on to you and your friends, because we found through him a few of his friends that were also in the group that were trying to hide. So we kicked them out too. And then I guess he figured out that we figured out who he was. I said, have fun and fuck you. And he says, may Allah have mercy on your soul. I was like, yeah, I thought so. Fuck you. And then his next response, and this is when he paints himself. The Islamic State will be brought to Canada to cleanse the filth and bring a new world order of purity and the law of Allah. We will raise your sons and daughters the way they should have been raised generations ago.
Did you fucking report this shit? Seriously?
I reported
Thank
it
God.
to CSIS that very fucking second.
Okay, good.
RCP or whoever.
What?
I was gonna say you should be reporting that shit to like whoever needs that. Did you just report that to Facebook? Who do you report that to?
No, thesis.
CSIS, the Canadian
CSIS.
Intelligence Service. Yeah.
Yeah, report that shit to
Service.
CSIS.
He goes on to say, silly old man, you have no, he called me an old man. I don't know if I guess I'm older than he is. I'm 28.
You are old as fuck, dude.
We are already in your nation. I told him you have nowhere to hide. We have you now. I'm like, we've got you now. You've outed yourself. He says, we have everywhere to hide, and soon we will not need to. The great Satan will be cleansed, you along with him.
Is Satan part of their? I don't know much about
Satan is an integral part in their religion. Yes, just like all the Abrahamic religions.
Is it Satan or is it Lucifer? Like that's I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, they're interchangeable, I think.
Oh, okay.
There is one example of somebody who I've found approximately 20 people just like this guy, and all of them have been reported to CSIS. We found these motherfuckers, and I hope we do something about them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, it's CSIS, man, so they should be right on top of that shit.
There is one thing that's going on with CSIS that I don't agree with, and that's giving them more power for searching personal information. I don't know if you guys read about that. They're trying to pass a bill to give them more power. I don't know the status of that right now.
I don't know the scope of that power. I don't know where that power comes into effect. I have to do more reading on that as well, because that's a big concern.
Well, I petitioned to stop that bill that was going through for monitoring information on the internet.
Did you guys ever see Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier?
Mm-hmm.
Not yet.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Not yet?
No, not yet.
In this movie, the entire purpose of the enemy was to make a machine that would rely on information and then determine if this person was going to do critical or terrorist acts and then kill them prior to the acts.
There's a few movies that are out there like that as well, yeah.
Skynet.
Skynet, yeah.
Did you guys hear about that satellite that launched a few years ago that was named Skynet?
Yes.
That was ridiculous. I almost shit myself.
I fell out of my chair.
Why would you do that? But
there's a wireless network in our town called the Skynet Wireless.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, uh-oh.
I just want to remind you, we live in a city, not a town.
Whatever, it's close enough.
Yeah,
we live in the capital
of city with a small town feel, man.
It really is.
It does have a small town feel, but it's still
That's
city.
why I like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Fernwood.
That place is a hole. I hate it.
I've been to Fernwood. I don't know if I share your view on that there, Kyle. Or
I'm being completely facetious right now. I love that place. Like, that's where I hang out.
Yeah.
That's right. Anyone that wants to troll me can find me there. I dare you.
Okay, why are you outside again?
I'm smoking, man. I don't smoke in my house. There's a car that drove by. My bad. And it's raining. What do you want? I'm fucking addicted to nicotine. It's either this kills me or the mole on my face. So I'm trying to make it lung cancer.
I'm gonna go with the mole.
I'm trying to make it lung cancer. Fuck that.
What do you do?
I was always
Burn
wondering
the mole
how
with
was
your
eating
cigarettes? How is smoking gonna help the mole or hinder the mole? Do you burn it with your cigarette?
No, I'm gonna try and end this before the mole gets me.
Oh, I see. So you're trying to kill yourself before the mole kills you.
Exactly. I won't give that mole the satisfaction.
You want to die of lung cancer before you die of face cancer.
Exactly.
Okay, I've got it now. I understand your thinking.
This is how I make my money. The face.
Can't make money when you're dead.
I won't worry about that because I'll be dead.
Did you guys hear about the maybe it's nothing, but I was in the shopper mall, a shoppy thingamajiggy, the whatchamacallit, tongue twisty thing.
What?
and
Use your words, John. Use your words.
And the People's Magazine, or I think it was People's, the front cover was this woman who had cancer, terminal cancer, and then has plans to end herself in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
In all honesty, like if you make the choice to do that, I'm for that. Right? It's your life.
If it comes, yeah, for sure. If it comes from a position of general, like I'm not crazy, I just don't want to go, I don't want to do this anymore. There should be a legal way to legally end your life.
Doctor-assisted suicide, it's called, and I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
What more right? Because really, let's be honest. If somebody wants to end their life, they are going to. And they should have the ability to end their life in the most pleasant way as possible. Let these people go with a little bit of dignity. Let these people go a kind way, rather than hanging themselves from their ceiling fan in their basement.
I hear that's a shitty way to go too.
I hear it's a real shitty way to go, and it's a way that a lot of people choose. And I'll give you a little tip here. For anybody considering hanging themselves to kill themselves, you don't die instantly. It takes a good 2 minutes before
you break your neck first,
suffocated, and your brain shuts off, and you finally don't feel any pain. but that is going to be an agonizing, terrifying, and painful 2 minutes. Why would you want to instill that and ensure that somebody has to go through that when all they want is to end their pain?
Well, didn't a couple years ago this old woman wanted to kill her or let her or die, and she was like really old or whatever, and she wanted assisted suicide, and some doctor got in trouble for it.
She ended up going to the Netherlands. Her appeal was declined, and she ended up going to the Netherlands to have it done, and they tried to go after the doctor, and they failed miserably.
That's bullshit. Like, that's, if the person has their mental faculties, let them make their own fucking decision. That's like...
What more, as long as the person is of sound mind, regardless of their reason, if the person is of sound mind, if the person is, this is what I think there should be, euthanasia, doctor-assisted suicide, whatever you want to call it, should be a completely legal thing for anybody who wants it and is of sound mind. There should be a series of protocols and whatnot set up to make sure that this isn't somebody who is just upset because their girlfriend dumped them or something like that. That this is legitimate, that they really do no longer desire to live.
Well,
What more
no,
right do you have to something other than your own life?
Well, I'm speaking more on like terminal illnesses.
Terminal illnesses is people that would be included in this. Sorry, I forgot that.
Yeah, it's just for that side of it, like
anybody terminally ill that doesn't want to go through the horrible event of trying to stretch their life out that much further. If they want to die, let them die in peace. What more right does somebody have to that than to that of their own life?
You were gonna say something, Ro?
Yeah, it's the thing is, people that want to end their lives, like commit suicide and stuff, like there's help available for that. I'm talking more along the lines of like there's doctors tell you there's like you're done, like it's game over. You get no response. You're fucking hooped. So you've got this long. You can do it. You can do with that information as long as you want. Like
It's just. I will have to agree with half of what Lord has to say. To me, the only reasonable, logical reasoning to even accept the fact that to let someone die in a assisted suicide, I'm using fingers here, would be someone who literally doesn't have much time left in their life. Someone who's terminally ill, someone of very, very old age, or anything like that would be something that I would accept.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
but
same.
Anything other than that, if someone is depressed, if someone is being
help
bullied,
them. If someone's depressed, help them.
Yes, they need counseling. They don't need death. They need counseling. Yeah. They need mental help.
Yeah, so that's where we need to draw the line here. Is people who are being bullied or depressed, they don't need this. They need help. But people who are at an age where they don't have many years left, or someone who is terminally ill that isn't going to survive, they should be allowed to opt out at an early time so they do not have to suffer.
Exactly. Yes. Sorry if I sound like I misconstrued what I meant.
Oh, no worries. I just want to clarify that.
Yes.
Hey guys. So check the Facebook little message thing that we had going on. I posted up actually a good answer to ISIS, which is hilarious. It's from John Oliver from his show, and it's actually it's answered by Miss America. A Miss America contestant. It's pretty fucking hilarious. If you read
We'll watch it. We'll watch it.
If you watch it, yeah.
I've shut down Facebook.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just wanted to clarify because the way you were explaining it, it wasn't very clarificated.
Clear?
Apparently, clarificated is less ambiguous than correct.
Sorry, I tend to make up words. Just mash words together.
Yeah.
It's a new word now. Clarificated is a new word. You can use it. It's okay.
We should put that in the Urban Dictionary.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing.
Well, we've been going on for about an hour and 15 minutes now, so I think we should probably get close to calling it.
Yeah, I was actually just going to say.
Yeah.
I think we're getting to the point now where we're kind of running out of things to say, so.
I mean, there's lots to say, but.
Well, there's lots to say, but, like, we got to save some stuff for next week, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be way more for next week. If
Oh,
shit
yeah.
keeps going the way it's going.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, this was actually a really good live stream. I think we talked about a lot of cool stuff,
I hope so.
and we'll pick her up again next week sometime. Maybe we'll see. And so once again, oh, also, if anybody, I wanted to say this earlier. If anybody's interested in getting a free ebook of my book, I'm plugging myself. That's right. I am shameless that way.
Fucking shill.
Yeah, I'm a shill for myself. Go check out my tweet that I'm going to be making right after my the live stream ends, and you can pick up a free ebook copy of Children of the Halo, which I invite you to Google to find out what it's about. So, anyways, this is EJ saying goodbye, and I'll let you guys say goodbye before I shut down the stream.
We're just gonna say right now it's actually not about the Halo games. If you get any confusion going, it's not
It
about
pisses
that.
me off when people think that.
Are you fucking serious? Like,
I thought
that's
that
what I've
the
been.
first
I've
time
been
I-
like
Yeah.
signal boosting you that it's a Halo like derivative.
No, it's not.
See, I haven't read it. I've only read
I'm
the
just
title
joking.
and had the title told to me by you, and I had no idea what it's about. My first initial instinct was that it was about the Halo game, but I figured I don't think you actually played that game, so I figured that couldn't have been it.
It's not a fan fiction.
Okay, so now that we have that clarified, it is not about Halo. Just gonna.
Boo.
All right, guys.
Halo is a cool game, though.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I hate it.
That's your personal opinion.
Whatever.
Halo gets me
As soon as
hard.
come back online. Here we go. All right, guys, I'm going to shut this down now. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, guys.
Remain vigilant.